About myself, so I was actually born in Calgary. When I was 2 years old, I moved to a small town in Fox Creek where my dad pastored a church for about 8 years. I had a couple friends that went to church with me that were in the same grade as me, and we were friends until the day I left. Then we moved back to Calgary, and I've been here ever since. At that point, I was just kind of like a try anything kind of guy. I wasn't really doing one thing. I was working a little bit. And then my one friend at the time, he had there's a little green line, and he's like, "Yo, just snort this, and it's just a little bit. You'll feel it's kind of like smoking weed, but it's a little stronger." And so I was like, "Okay, why not?" Like I said, at that point, I didn't really care. I had done drugs a lot at that point. I considered myself, I just would do a little bit here and there of whatever it was, and. So yeah, I took a little line, and I did feel good. It kind of felt like codeine or weed, where it just kind of chills you out. It was just a little bit. After about a week, I started to really like it, and I was like, hey man, like what is this? Like, what am I, where can I get this essentially? And he's like, yeah dude, these are beans. And I was like, okay, like what are beans? And he's like, I don't know if you've ever heard of fentanyl. I didn't really notice it as much, but people started telling me like, dude, you're just like falling asleep like mid-conversation, and after a while, yeah, no, like people stopped wanting to hang out with me nearly except for people who would, do it with me, right? But sadly, one pill turns into two, and then two pills turns into three, and so on and so forth, and before I knew it, I had a pretty expensive addiction on my hands. So yeah, like I'm going up and I'm meeting with one of my old friends, one of my old using friends, and we're gonna go pick, and so he gives me the money and I go meet the drug dealer, but instead of the drug dealer, it's my dad is in the spot where the drug dealer normally is. And so he's immediately very skeptical, and I was like, he tells me to get in the car, and I'm like, what's up? And he tells me that he's actually coming to like pick me up, and we were like, I can't remember exactly what we were gonna do, but he wanted to surprise me and come pick me up, because I told him I was just going to Max, and he's just gonna pick me up and we were gonna go do something. And he saw me leaving with like money in my hand, so he asked me to empty my pockets. So I emptied the pockets, and I think it was $80, and then I had an empty cigarette case, and inside of it I had my bean grinder, a straw, and a card for like cutting it up. And so he immediately knew what that was, and I'll never forget. He started crying in the car, and he started praying. And I remember being so angry, and I was like, what are you praying for? Like, it's pointless. Like, there's no God. Like, you're wasting your time. Like, I'm not gonna quit. I'm like, this is pointless. Like, your words are being wasted. And he said, I'm not gonna give up on you, son. And my mom said the exact same thing. My dad has a really, really wise quote, and when it comes to that, he would say, the bottom is where you stop digging, because you can always go lower. And so at that point, just seeing the pain that I was feeling, and the pain that I saw that I was putting my family through, especially my parents, I was like, all right, like I'm gonna give it a shot. Like I want to quit. Like I'll actually give it a shot this time. The main thing was that I felt hopeless. There's no coming back from this, right? Like I'd ruined so many relationships. I was just such a terrible person. Like I just remember specifically thinking like there's no reason and there's no way for anybody to forgive me. And I'm not even kidding you. This is literally like the biggest God moment I've ever had in my entire life. Like the second I thought that, a voice came into my head that I know wasn't mine, because it was too fast and it was too loud, and it was just warm, and it was correct, and it was just right. And it was just you are already forgiven. I've already forgiven you, right? And then that's when I wrote down "Thank you for the cross" in my book. When you're withdrawing from opiates, you can't sleep. I only got about 1 to 2 hours of sleep a day. You're in immense pain, you're incredibly weak, you have no energy, so I couldn't stand, I could only sit. Your brain is running at 1,000,000 miles per hour, so I can't focus on anything. I can't watch TV, I can't stand up, I can't do much. All I can do is write. So I decided to start writing my story. The way God rescued me is, for the first time in a very long time, I felt, for no reason, truly loved and truly forgiven and truly valued. If I did not have that point in time where I felt God, if he did not touch me there, if he had not rescued me there, I can 100% guarantee you I'd be dead today, 100%, without a single doubt in my mind that I would be dead right now. But I've been rescued. Truly have.